Welcome to the best hour of their day podcast with your hosts, Jason Fernandez
and me, Jason Ackerman. With more than 20 years in the business,
as both coaches and affiliate owners,
our passion is to help create world-class affiliates
and coaches by building
better boxes. Welcome to
the best hour of your day.
Back in your lives, November 5th. Election day.
Today's the day.
I dropped off my ballot this morning.
I wore my shirt again just for today.
I wore it to the summit. It's in the laundry. Fern blew it. Fern blew his chance to rep. I was like, I'm going to bring mine. Fern will obviously bring his. He's no dummy. Turns out he's a dummy. Everybody was commenting on it. Sorry, guys. We were trying to figure out my mic situation here. So now I'm just yelling. I'm just screaming. Why are you muting yourselves? What's going on over there? You're muted. All right. It's a one-man show today, everybody. Welcome to the Jason Ackerman Show. Here to take all your questions, give out life advice. Star Wars trivia. Here we go. Christian, you're going to be back on. You got your first Star Wars trivia.
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Here we go.
That's two sons, James. Two sons.
All right, James. He didn't even get a chance to read it. But
yeah.
I trust Christian.
Here we go. We'll put it up. How many sons does? Well, first of all, S-U-N. I assume we're talking about S-U-N. Sons does Luke Skywalker's home planet have?
Right.
Going to. So
Misspelled,
twin sons.
We got it. Hey, James is coming into town in December, taking his level 4. He reached out to me yesterday and asked if I can get him a little coaching spot. Is that true that they're moons, actually?
No, they're two sons.
All right, get out of here, Matt.
Literally called twin sons.
Get out of here, Matt Miller.
The song is Twin Sons.
Anyway, James is coaching a little guest spot, getting ready for his level 4. Here's what I want to say about the level 4. The people that passed the level 4, very, very prestigious accomplishment. I saw Brittany was on here earlier. She passed. Owner of CrossFit Mafia and one of our coach development coaches within the curriculum, longtime seminar staff member. They coach. That's what it is. They coach. Adam Fuller, for example. I told you last week on the show here, Adam and I were going to go out to dinner.
Yeah.
We did. And when he was working towards his level 4, he was just coaching all over the place. You got to get those reps in. Let me tell you something about Adam Fuller before we get into today's show. So I meet him in Boulder. He was taking the one-day level 2. He had his feedback on it. I won't share it publicly. It's Adam's to share. Dr. Fuller, that's right, Kanan. So I show up at the restaurant. I sit down. I said, hey, Adam, dinner's on me. Right? Like, I just wanted to make it clear. Sometimes it's awkward. You ever go out to dinner with someone and it's awkward when the check comes?
Every time I go out to dinner with my grandparents, it's awkward.
So, right. It's like,
because sometimes they're like, no, we need to pay. And other times they just don't say anything. And I'm like, what are we going to do here? Like, it's before we even walk in, you just like, I don't care. I'll pay. But it's just like, are you going to force me not to pay or are you just not going to say anything?
We're on a fixed income, Christian. Anyway.
I hate that. It drives me crazy. Are we all on a fixed income? Like, I mean, what do you mean?
That's very true. So anyway, I'm like, hey, Adam, it's on me. And we have this great dinner, amazing steaks, great conversation. And then the waiter comes over with the bill and he goes, hey, I just wanted to let you know the hospital got this. And I was like, the hospital? I was like, I'm like sitting there for what felt like minutes. It was probably like 5 seconds. And then I looked at Adam and I was like, did you just pay for that? Because we're doctors. So
yeah.
Anyway.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, I was Adam Fuller, Unreasonable Hospitality. He's listening to that book for the 6th time. 6th time. So you don't seem mute. Are you frozen? You have like
no, I was just listening. I was listening. I'm infatuated.
I felt like that deserved a reaction. Like when I said 6 times, you should have been like, what? 6 times?
It is a lot. It is a lot.
If you're watching this, get yourself a copy of Unreasonable Hospitality. If you're AAA, Nikki Sharp, I know you guys have already read it, but listen to it. It's a great audio book. Will Guardia. And before we get any further, do we have any announcements within the Best Hour community? We have the Mastermind sold out.
Do we want to talk about what we just dropped at the summit that we're going to be able to drop here soon for the rest of the public? The super new.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
We just pushed it out for the summit. Should I just tell them what it is?
Oh yeah, yeah. Hold on. Yes. Because there's a couple of things that happened at the summit.
Oh, okay.
You want to talk about the summit on today's show?
Yeah, I want to talk about the summit. Yeah, you went. I want to know what you thought about it, and
Cool,
I want to know. People are still sleeping on the summits, and so I want to know what
this
are
is
they
a
missing
great
out
one.
on?
But Angelo, if you do affiliate you can get essentially infinite CEUs towards your level 3 and level 4. So if you're on, Dr. Fuller said this to us, and we posted about it. But he said there's no better bang for your buck for CEUs once you have your level 3, level 4, especially if you have staff with the level 3 and level 4 than affiliate university.
Yep, because you get 50, and then your staff gets 25, and that's just the first year.
Right.
And then run that back year 2. Obviously you're more than set year 1, but then your staff do a year and a half of the coach development, and your staff is now set to renew their level 3, level 4 without having to go outside, do other things. And on top of that, where else are you gonna go that you're gonna learn from a horde of level 4 seminar staff, flow masters, actually watching your coaching and giving you feedback? Where else are you? I mean, even if you get the CEUs, where are you gonna get that?
Nowhere. The answer is nowhere.
Take your level 2 again, I guess, but you're not gonna get the same attention you do.
Yeah, and to be clear what Christian's saying, it's every member of your staff, not just you, not just one. If you have 10 staff members with an L3, they all can earn CEU. So anyway, it was Fern, myself, Cody, and Nate. We had an amazing time in Austin, Texas. I'll talk you through it. So we show up Friday, and we have the lunch and learn at this cool little spot. There was like saunas, cold plunges, but like a hangout. It's like a healthy little hangout spot. Then essentially a CrossFit gym in the back. I gave a talk on sales. Those of you in affiliate university, that talk will be in the curriculum. When would you say?
I got to get with Katie.
Cool. But that's coming. A talk no one's heard. Unsurprisingly, people signed up for some calls after. But I'm going to tell you an interesting story, Christian. So I'm giving the talk, and the setup for the place is a little unique. There's like tables and chairs, but like not everyone's facing you like a normal, like if you're at a presentation.
Yeah, and like if you haven't been to our lunch and learns, it's like it's more of a hangout.
It's a casual.
It's like we're gonna hang out, and then like while you're hanging out, we've also got some like amazing education from you, from Fern. Marcus has been to some, and then Nicole with HSN. And like I walk away and I was like, I'm deep in the machine. I'm like, that was profound.
Well, I'm gonna tell you something in a moment. But so anyway, I'm giving this presentation, and I'm telling you, I'm thinking everyone hates it. Like, as I'm delivering it, it was the first time I've given this topic, the first time, it was unique. And because of the way it was set up, I was looking at these two couples, and I'm like, oh, these people really don't like what I'm saying. And
I mean, that's how I feel most of the time, so I would get it.
But I'm like, I'm bombing. I was like, I'm bombing on this stage right now. My jokes weren't landing, and they were funny jokes. All my jokes are funny. So anyway, after the next day I went up to these people because now they're at the summit. I was like, why didn't you like my presentation? And they're like, we loved it. And both of those couples were like, we booked a call. And I was like, oh, that's interesting to know. So just interesting to know, like whether you're coaching a class or talking, you can't always judge, someone's face of what's going on. So they loved it. Nicole did an awesome presentation. Let's give a little shout out to Nicola Coyne, HSN. She's a well-oiled machine. She puts these together. I don't have mine down here, but she had new Yetis with HSN and Best Hour printed on them. But I'll tell you this, when we showed up Saturday to the summit, Nicole was in her feelings because here's a funny story. If you were at the Denver summit, so who was there? I remember seeing Carolini. I remember Dr. Fuller, Justin and Erica, a few other of our clients and many, obviously affiliate owners there, we had an empty table, like brown table, like nothing on it.
Like there was no table cover.
No table cover, I'm
It was
saying.
literally just a table.
It was a Post-it note that said best out. It was the Post-it note that essentially gave us the table. Like, hey, this is your table.
It didn't even say best hour, didn't it? Wasn't it like the wrong acronyms also? Like BHOD or something?
Yeah, and it might have had the Wi-Fi password or something, right? And so we show up here in Austin. Let me tell you this. Full backdrop, tables. Cody made these amazing bags. They're essentially the same bags you get at Lululemon when you make a purchase. Inside the bags, a copy of my book, an awesome new product box that we're giving out with videos on it. All this other great stuff. And Nicole was sitting next to us. She's like, you guys won the tables. So we went from worst to best in 6 months.
That's amazing.
So back to the lunch and learn. I'm done. Nicole's done. We're wrapping up. And here we go. Fern, unable to have the spotlight shined on me, goes up to the front and goes, hey, would you guys all be interested in a bonus talk? Because I crushed it. And Fern couldn't handle it. Emotionally, he could not handle me getting the shine, me being, the guy. So he goes up and he did this. He did the most amazing talk I've ever seen him do.
Would you say it was a Harvard level dissertation that he
you
gave?
You were like transported to Harvard. It was like, all right, forget we're in Austin, Texas. You're in Boston or Cambridge, wherever Harvard. You're in a Harvard classroom right now. Professor Fern's about to take the stage. Get your notebooks out. You're probably going to want to record this. You're about to go to school. So we're going to get that out there. Luckily, Nate, ever the professional, opened his camera. When's that coming out?
That is, I knew you were going to ask me. I was pulling it up. I believe it's next week. I got to pull up my schedule. Yeah, Friday. Next Friday, Fern's talk will come out.
I'm going to tell you this. Can you set that as a premiere?
Yeah.
Let's premiere it next Friday. So what day is that? That is going to be
the 15th at 8 a.m.
8 a.m. Eastern. Yeah, we always kiss after the lunch and learns. So it was, I'm telling you, I was captivated. It was that good. Like, if you're in the CrossFit space, if you're an affiliate owner, this is a must watch. Must watch. You'll see. There's like food behind them. Like, it was not supposed to happen. It's impromptu. So anyway, great lunch and learn. Day wraps up. Cody and Fern went over to the social. I did not. I did meet I went out with my sister. She lives in Austin, so I went to grab dinner with my sister.
Oh, okay. I thought you would have went to bed. That's what you normally do.
I mean, I went to bed shortly after, but I did grab dinner with my sister. I don't see her that often. And Saturday, the affiliate summit, Chase did an amazing job. I mean, Austin and Jada Coons represented CrossFit. Lisa Ray did a great job representing coaches. Nicole again. Dan from Push Press. But again, Fern stole the show.
Fern was there too, right?
Who was that?
Don Fall.
No, Don wasn't there.
Don wasn't at that one.
No, Jay DeCoons in Austin. So typically the day kicks off with like a State of the Union.
Yep.
Don does some, Austin does some, Jay does some. But
on that note, what were some because I wasn't there, what were some of what were some big takeaways from the State of the Union? Anything that stood out?
I to be honest, I showed up after it.
Bro.
I slept in. I slept in a little bit. I mean, the State of the Union is like 8 a.m. for the record. They kick these things up early. But I'll tell you. Oh, let me go back a second. Lunch and Learn, we interviewed Mike and Hope. So all of you that love Mike and Hope are 41-year married couple within Affiliate U. Great interview with Mike and Hope. That'll be out in the future. But here's the big news. I didn't mention Dr. Tom McCoy was there.
Yep. From CrossFit Medical Society. Right.
And if you're getting the CrossFit emails, CrossFit, it's not health insurance, to be clear, but it's a health share.
Yep.
This is tremendous for affiliates. Tremendous. So that episode is actually going to drop this Friday. Christian rushed it. Thank you for doing that. But
You're welcome.
I'll quote it, but watch the episode. $55 a person. You have to be a CrossFit coach. Technically, you don't even need to have your level 1, but you have to coach at an affiliate. And then if you do, your spouse, your children can do it as well. $55. Anything goes on, it goes through the medical share, through the crowdfunding, and it's covered. It is like the best thing CrossFit has done for affiliate owners.
I'm gonna drop the link here. If anybody's curious about it.
And he talks about it on the episode, so I may not get it completely right, but in short order, it's going to be open for anyone at an affiliate. Now, let me tell you what that means. That means if you have a member that needs health insurance, they can join. Again, it's not health insurance; it's like crowdfunding or a share, but they have to be a member of your affiliate. So now, as far as retention goes, that's like insane retention. In addition to that, so Nikki Sharp, for example, she has a call with them. If Nikki Sharp does it, any of her members that then do it, she gets $250 one time per person. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, if you have 100 people do it, I don't know, do the math. That's like $2 million. You get $2 million.
Not $2 million. It's
$3 million. It's
$25 grand though.
25 grand. That's a lot of people. That's a little bit exaggerated, but sure, $250 a person. So open enrollment is coming for someone like me, someone like you, Christian, that doesn't have a typical job. This is usually the time of year where I look into my health insurance options, which, by the way, no deductible, right? And just like I asked the questions, and I think you should do your own research, but I was like, I got 2 kids. What if something happens? I'm not worried about your standard medical stuff, but if I twist a knee, falling off the pull-up bar, jiu-jitsu, all that stuff. So definitely,
definitely dig into it. Watch the episode on Friday. We're a part of a health share. We're not a part of this because this is new, but we're looking into it.
But
essentially it gives you what?
It's less expensive than your current health share, right?
Might be the same. It's going to be really close. Yeah, I got to look at the benefits that mine has versus that one has. But essentially, you get the same. You pay for things out of pocket that are below a certain dollar amount, and then you get the same discounts that you would if you were part of insurance. And then if you have a large, expensive medical event that happens, they help you pay for it.
Yeah. I think one asterisk, can't be a smoker. Shouldn't be an issue for most CrossFitters. They're waiving the BMI, which a lot of insurances look at, because obviously as CrossFitters, we're typically a little high on the BMI with the muscle, but this is amazing stuff. Outside of that, we interviewed.
It's a big deal.
Very big deal. I was really excited. Obviously, came home, told you to put that out there as soon as you can. But we had a great dinner Saturday night with the team. Joel joined us. I should have mentioned that. Joel was around all weekend. Now that he lives in Austin, Texas. There's
not a ton out there. I mean, there's a couple of other CrossFit, business mentorships out there. But what other ones have a stud as a in-house mindset coach? Like Joel Cochran. No, not you. Definitely not you.
You said stud, so you understand.
No, Mr. Joel Cochran. We have an in-house mindset coach. What other program out there has that?
He's amazing.
The answer is there isn't one.
No, I think it's strange because obviously every AAA and the Nikki Sharps who are involved within Best Hour understand that. But I think anyone that owns an affiliate is like, what do you mean? Like Joel will change your life.
Yeah. I mean, the biggest thing Joel does is like a lot of people show up and there's many things, especially the big things, the affiliate owners know what they got to do. They know they need to increase prices. They know they need to fire that coach. They know they need to get rid of that, 10 a.m. class that nobody shows up to that's costing them $20 a day. But there's something in their way. Yeah, there's a perspective shift that needs to happen for them to do it.
Back at it, CrossFit Crux, back in it for year 2. By the way, here's the thing. Everyone got upset with me a few months back when I prematurely launched Mindset 2.0.
Yeah.
It's off and running. The first
Beta testing right now.
beta test is up and running. Play the breaking news, will you? Play the breaking news. This is big. I feel like it should be. Breaking news at dinner Saturday night. This just in. Joel Cochran, Cowboy Joel, confirmed 3.0.
3 point.
Not only did he confirm 3.0, at dinner I said, Fern. He was sitting to my left. Fern, can I run with this? He said, green light it.
Here we go.
I get it. It was 4 days ago. But still, breaking news for you. Breaking news for you. And so that will be for your 3 people. It's not officially, I mean, it's officially going to happen. It's not out there. Marcus then slowed it down. He said, hey, chill out. Let's get 2.0 up and running.
But the big thing is whether you're like new in our program or you've been doing it for a while, like the biggest obstacle is you, and either to make these hard, big decisions to be a leader, and hopping on those mindset courses with Joel is what's going to get you to make those hard decisions and walk you through it, opposed to just handing you some cookie cutter, hey, go do this thing. Like, we actually help you become the person that can do the thing.
Yeah. I want to say, I'm going to throw this out there. I'm not going to give it away because this is big. Big for me.
Well, that's a lot of things. That's most things in the world. You're 5'2". Most things are big for you.
Madison looked at me today and she goes, you're little. I was like, what? I was like, are you little? She was like, no. I was like, I'm little. I'll kick your ass, Madison. Anyway, I don't want to say what it is, but if you're going to be at the Orlando Mastermind, I don't think you know about this, Christian.
Okay.
I'm gonna work around it because I want it to be a surprise. I've got something really cool cooking. Fern and I kind of came up with it. It was more Fern's idea, and then I stole it and ran with it. And it's going to be a method of showing people all of the little successes they've had with us.
Oh, that's super cool.
It's going to be really cool. And it's going to grow over time. First iteration of it, the launch is happening at the Mastermind.
I love that.
So it's really, I'm really pumped. I'm actually in the midst of finalizing it now. And those of you that are in year 2, if you're going to be there Friday, there's a special package. We've talked about that before. This Mastermind, we've got an award ceremony for some people. This Mastermind is going to be next level. I'm super pumped.
Yeah, and if anybody's watching doesn't know what we're talking about, the Philly University Mastermind. Twice a year, we get together in person, and dozens and dozens of people have said that has set them up for success for the next 6 months. Yeah. And they come back, and it was that was the push they needed to unveil and conquer whatever obstacle was in their way. That was their big breakthrough, and we're doing it in January in Orlando.
Yeah, it's this one. Everyone that's involved is really leveling it up. It's gonna be a big deal. I'm pumped for it. Cool. Well, we talked a little bit about the summit. Any other questions about it?
What was your your? Oh, go ahead.
AAA. We do an internal besties every year. I don't think we've ever. We put it out maybe the first year, and it was really inappropriate, so we stopped putting it out publicly because I host it. But every year, internally, I make awards for every member of the team. It's on the calendar, right? It's typically the last Friday before we go to holidays. It is December 20th, Friday, December 20th. Yeah, besties.
And somebody on this call,
I did put it out year 1, yeah.
Got Rookie of the Year.
You got Rookie of the Year, right?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, last year. I got the awards on my notes over here.
If Lee's watching, Lee is tough to beat. I was sweaty going into it because Lee is a workhorse.
Besties. I got my 20. Let me see let me go back. I'll go through them real quick. Where are they? Yeah, because we didn't put them out. They're so far down. A year ago. Yeah, we didn't put him out this past year, but Nate
Right.
always does this really badass
The
intro.
intro.
It's
Yeah.
become everyone's like favorite thing of the year.
Yeah.
Let's
This
see.
year was what, Golden Girls? Was that the theme?
Oh, it was Golden Girls. Let's see. Cody got details, details, details. Nate got Cave of Compassion. Joel got Abracadabra, and I do a little speech for everyone. Lindsay got the workhorse. Pat got the shoot your shot is a big one too.
Yeah, it's a good one.
So there's a few like what would you call it? Annual awards.
Hey,
DT.
real quick, can you talk about the shoot your shot one? I think that one's a good one.
So the shoot your shot was originally Katie was the first recipient of it, and somebody
And
will
why
get
would
it.
yeah? What about Katie? Why did she get that?
So shoot your shot is, as it sounds, like it's someone who took a big risk to become a part of the team, right? And Katie,
Yeah,
leaving her, conventional job, if you will, and Pat Barber doing the same. But yeah, this one, someone's getting to shoot your shot this year. We do have a Hall of Fame. Someone will be inducted into my fake Hall of Fame.
Have you done that before? Or is this the first one?
Yeah, but DT got it last year.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Worthy.
Yeah. She was the first inductee. Todd got most reliable. Steve Haydock got the GOAT. Oh, Lee got adaptability is the best ability.
Yeah.
That's a good one. Oh, yeah, here you are.
Even when
Christian.
she yells at you for having to be adaptable because you let her email.
You got Rookie of the Year. You want me to read my speech to you out loud?
No.
Katie last year got the glue.
That's good.
That's a good one. Yeah, cool. All right, well, yeah, no, I get pumped. It's on my list every day. I'm chipping away at the awards. They gotta write speeches.
That's good.
Anyway, you were asking a question.
Yeah, for the summit, my question was like, well, what was one, what's your favorite thing about going to those? Because you've gone to a few this year. Like, what do you enjoy about it? And like specifically, why do you think affiliate owners should be going to this? Because there's still a lot that aren't going to these summits.
I showed up Saturday, and I had a lot to do for Nate and Cody and you, right, in marketing and media.
Yep.
And like they're trying to wrangle me, and I'm like, I love talking to affiliate owners, right? So it's like that. Like they're trying to get me to do work, and meanwhile I'm like, but I'm talking to people. Like, to me, it's like my favorite part of the L1 and L2s where you're just hanging with the participants, and and I would imagine it's the same for the affiliate owners. It's like, where else do you get to be around other affiliate owners?
Yeah.
Right. So it's your opportunity to hear from them, to learn from them. That being said, there's massive improvements that could be made at these summits. Like, and they're working on it, but
they've gotten better.
They've definitely gotten better. But I think
Yeah.
the biggest takeaway is like be around other affiliate owners. Those that show up are those that are typically working harder.
I think these summits are one of the biggest, and I think one of the least talked about like benefits that CrossFit has added in the past few years. When people are like complaining about like, hey, what does CrossFit do? Like, I think these are huge. I think these are a really big deal what they do.
Yeah, and again, I get it. Some people have a frustration with what CrossFit has done, but they're doing stuff. The summits, the health share, they're doing the right things, and it's fun to see. But no, it's just a great time. Like it's really fun too. Like every time, if Fern gave his presentation and he asked something about it, it's like half the people put their hands up. It's fun.
But half the people put their hands up for what? Because
they work with us.
Oh, awesome! Wow, half the room.
It was pretty insane, and it's fun to see. Like, as we've been going, we went to the very first one. It's probably in New Jersey. That's probably 3 years ago. To go from like kind of like two unrecognized people to like people knowing not just us but the company as a whole, like recognizing like, oh, there's Best Hour. They're doing good things for affiliates.
Yeah, well, even before I think it was before that when we had gatherings before we even have summits. Like we had like it was like a kind of a half day gathering. I went to Orlando.
Yeah.
And it was like it was awesome, but it was like not what it is now.
Yeah.
They're a lot better.
Yeah. Well, appreciate that. And it's just fun.
Look at this. nice. Look at that.
And that's what Fern reminds me of it often, where it's like no one will outwork us, right? Like we're at every summit. Fern was traveling 3 straight weekends. We're going to be in the UK. Steve is repping us. Cody and Lindsay going now with Steve to the UK. The stuff.
Oh, are they?
Yeah, that happened this weekend. We're like, you need to go. Giving out I'm signing books. We talked about it last week. 2.0. We did our pictures this past weekend. Nate took my picture. New book coming out at the Mastermind. Doctor is here. Doc, we talked all about you at the beginning. You missed it. We were talking about unreasonable hospitality. So cool. Great. Yeah, great weekend.
One of these days, we get one of these coming weeks. We gotta get Dr. Fuller on here.
We'll bring Doc on. Hey, next week.
All right.
Doc, next week, the 12th. 10:30 your time. I know
Your schedule.
I know his schedule. He has nothing going on. He has like one day where he does something where he teaches Harper math. That's it. That's all he does all week. So.
All right, Adam, I'm sending you an email.
You'll be on next week. We'll talk. Yeah, I know. Anyway, yeah. Hit a good workout this morning. Wall balls and rowing. My quads are still on fire. Not a short person workout, but did decent. I was happy with it.
Are you still RXing every workout, even though you shouldn't?
Just about, yeah. This one was one where it's like it was wall ball and rowing. Like there was, you could obviously scale, but not much to scale there. I'm trying 3-4 days a week of CrossFit's doing well. Training, jiu-jitsu on the other days. Pretty happy with it. How about you?
Yeah, my training's always good. I consistently get 4 to 5 days a week. I get like we talked about this before. I do like 1 to 2 days a week that like I really get after it, and then the other days are I don't want to say checking a box, but it's 70 to 80%. But yesterday we had 3 rounds of 800-meter run with a dumbbell lunge, V-ups, and push-ups. It was like a 20-minuter. That one was toasty. That was a good one though. Got after it.
Yeah, no, and I agree. That's the days I go to the box. I went today primarily because I can't do wall balls at home, so I went in. But those are the days I'm like, all right, I'm here to go ham. I'm here to go hard.
Yeah.
Then I'll have some workouts at home a little easier. Any other topics we need to discuss? Any questions from those still watching?
Well, we'll ask the crowd while I'm pulling up your Instagram.
Oh, you want to go into one post?
What?
Do you want to go into one post?
I had a post.
All right, let's check it out. Let's talk about it. Dr. Fuller, yeah. We talked about you. Our steak dinner last week. From the hospital.
A lot.
Paid for the hospital.
We were talking about hard decisions earlier, and
let's see it.
I like this one.
If you have it's a good one. If you have a member that's bothering you, they're bothering other members. The choice is yours. Remove the problem member or lose quality members. This comes up often.
A lot. Like Haley gets DMs on Instagrams about it. On Instagram about it. We get comments. I know you get DMs and comments about it.
And it's not just members. Sometimes it's coaches.
Yeah.
But let's think about it from the member perspective. I think that's the often overlooked component of it, right? You're an affiliate owner. You've got a member. Of course, Brittany knows. But you've got a member that's bothering you. And I get it. As an affiliate owner, it's hard to say I'm going to remove 150 or more from my revenue every month. But I've seen it time and time again, personally with my box when I was the same way. Like I can't get rid of a member, but often with other affiliate owners where you'd be pretty ignorant to think you have a member that's bothering you and not also bothering many other members of your facility. And I've seen it. They're going to leave because those good quality members don't want to bug you, don't want to cause an uproar. They probably feel like I'm the only one being bothered by this guy or girl. and then they make some excuse, the time doesn't work or my schedule has changed to leave. And meanwhile, you're stuck with the bad apple. And I'm not often when something like this comes up, it's like, we'll talk to the member. Of course, right? Like I had a post that was like, if you have a member complaining about the programming and they're eating poorly, like get rid of them or something. It's like, I'm never like blanketly expecting you to just fire people willy nilly. You finding that?
I was going to see if I can find it.
It was a while ago, yeah. But it's like everything comes with the expectation you're doing the right things along the way. The right things are often having these private conversations, probably more than one time. And then when nothing is improving, was that it?
Yeah, that's it.
Go down. Somebody said it. It's on there in the comments. Right. Or try coaching them about nutrition, alcohol. I feel like this is weirdly aggressive first step. It's not the first step. It's like the 12th step.
Let's be clear. Jay does it on purpose. So if you're like, this is aggressive, it's like he knows.
Yeah. And point is, like, this is your responsibility. Is you're, here we are on election day. I talked about it on the Instagram post today. Like, it's got to be a safe space. And when I say safe space, it's not just politics. It's not just these other things. It's from turds.
Like, and most people, when they show up, like when they ask us, a lot of times they haven't even had the conversation yet. And you're like, hey, like, what have you talked to them? And they're like, oh, what? I'm like, that sounds like a no.
Yeah,
like,
I can't
take them out to coffee, grab them before class, and start asking questions. If they're the person that's late all the time, hey, I noticed you're always late to class. What's going on? Or I notice you always leave your equipment out. What?
I noticed you smell.
That's a thing. That's a thing. Yeah.
I noticed you stink, dude. Can we do something about that? Right? I see, I think, I feel, I want. I've talked about it before. It's in the book, the whole message model. I see, tell them the problem. Christian gave a great one. I see you're late to class. And when you do the IC, it's got to be black and white. There's the clock. It's 9:07. Class started at 9. You're 7 minutes late. It was the same, last week and the day before. I see, I think, hey, I think you don't realize the value of the whiteboard brief. I think you're not putting an effort to getting here on time. I feel frustrated as your coach because it makes my life harder. I want you to hit the stimulus. I want you to know the scaling options. I want you to see the movement demos, etc.
I want you to be successful.
Yeah, well, that's great. That's really good. And then, I want, like, that's a great one, but more so like, hey, what's your desired outcome? I want you to be here on time. Right?
Yeah.
I see, I think, I feel, I want. Use that one. But it just starts with talking to them and ask questions too, right? Like I talked about it in my sales presentation. You have to ask questions. Hey, Christian, I noticed it's 9:07. What do you have a struggle? The why questions are very accusatory, like why are you late? So I would try to rephrase like, hey, Christian, do you struggle to make it on time, or is there something prohibiting you from making it on time? And like, yeah, I drop my kids off at 9, so I get here. Oh, I didn't know that.
Here's a good pro tip. Change your whys into what's.
What's in house, right? How can I help you be on time? What would it take for you to be on time? And then let's play two sides, right? Coaches, again, this is one example, but it's your responsibility to start on time.
Yep.
Right? If you're going to start late, ask a question of the day that goes 8 minutes. I'm going to start showing up a little later. Like, oh, I don't have to rush. So
we used to have, like, years ago when I was a coach, we had a member who would show up like 5 to 10 minutes late every day. And one of the other coaches would be like, I'm not going to start class until this person gets here.
No, that's the worst.
And so then we stopped and we're like, no, now we're starting class right on time, whether you're here or not. And lo and behold, that person started showing up on time.
Yeah. It's almost always conversations will answer. James, let's see what he says.
We did it at the same time.
Lead with compassion. Never know what's going on in their lives or what they've been through that day. Absolutely, James. right? Like I said, most people don't want to be late. Most people don't want to be the turd. They just are often doing their best or having a rough day. So great stuff there. But
Well, let's go to the. I kind of want to go to the next level because it's so. Let's assume like they had that conversation, and let's say they've had the conversation 2, 3 times.
3 times.
3 times. We've done it 3 times now. When is it time to be like, hey, it's not working out?
Is it the time thing?
Say that again.
Are we specifically referring to being late?
No, not necessarily. I just mean I mean I've talked to whether it's a coach or a member, but I've had several conversations with this person.
Well,
And
I
like,
think
how do I know it's time to just let them loose?
it somewhat depends on the issue at hand, right? So let's say it's someone that's being inappropriate around the opposite sex. Like, you got to cut him loose.
Oh
And I wouldn't
yeah.
have been giving him 3, right? It's like, hey, if I see that again, we're not going to be able to allow you here. Let's say it's a stinky member, right?
And
Like,
even with, I mean, I would even say you'd be authorized to have one and done. Like
yes,
if you're being inappropriate, you get one warning, bro. After that, like you do it again, like I'm sorry.
right, absolutely. So, but just saying, it kind of depends on like the late.
Yeah, I
thing.
agree.
Again, and it's how egregious is it? This person's 7 minutes late.
Well, how about this one? Because this is one that comes up a lot, particularly with coaches. Let's say I started rolling out an evaluation. I started evaluating my coaches. And by the way, if you don't have an evaluation, world class coach evaluation, that's howtherdata.com. Start to finish, checklist on what a world class experience looks like. So let's say I rolled that out and my coach just isn't hitting it. And we've done this like multiple times. We've talked about it, and they're still not saying everybody's name. They're still not getting everybody a cue. I'm not seeing improvement.
Well, you're talking coaching. Now that's different, right? Because there's a job expectation. So that might be like 2 evaluations. We did the first one. You gave the feedback. It didn't happen again. I probably give them that second time. And then it's like, hey, this isn't working.
What should what should that expectation be for like improvement, like from one to the next?
Depending on what the feedback is. So, for example, someone came up to me at the summit after Fern's talk about leadership and was like, man, we do the evaluations and people aren't doing it. I was like, well, give me an example. He was like, they won't mop after class. I was like,
Okay.
black and white, dude. Like, they're just not, they don't want to mop. So you need
Yeah.
to make that the expectation. Right? So that was one thing. Then they also said, and they coach their friends more than the members.
Mm.
So I think some of it is like, well, how are we quantifying that? Like, sometimes as the evaluator, you're seeing it, but it's like, what data do you have? Like, they're hanging out there, they're literally giving more cues. So it's like, hey, I want to see 5 interactions with each person per class. Cool. And then if you get to more than 5, I want it to stay within a range. Like, if all of a sudden someone's getting 10, like, it needs to be no different than we talk about. Fern and I talk about it a lot with definitions. Like, we talked about it recently with like productivity. What's productive mean? Like, hey, we have a meeting, it's productive. Well, let's define what productive means so we're all on the same page going into this. And
Yeah, I mean we've had that conversations about some of the projects we've worked on. Is like what's the desired outcome?
well, yeah, and like, because we were having meetings, and the 3 of us, the 3 being Marcus, Fern, and myself, have like, to me, productive is like, I've got exactly what I need as fast as possible.
That's
Right?
good.
Marcus, productive is like, well, we're building the culture of the team. Cool. But like, when I'm looking at this meeting from my vantage point and you're looking at it from yours, we're both upset. So let's define, hey, a productive meeting means we're getting all of the information by the end. We're building, right? Like, so now we all are on the same page. And the same thing, I think that's for anything. Clarity is kindness. Hey, when you're evaluating a coach, here are my specific expectations. Especially if it's the point where you're expecting your coach to improve. So next time, hey, Christian, I need to see 5 interactions per person. And then I wouldn't say like it has to be perfect. Things are, you never know. It's an outlier class. Sally just was really struggling with the movement, or it's a busy class, whatever. I want to see that you made an effort. Some of that's a little subjective, but it's also cool. Like when I look at the check marks, it got better.
Well, and even yeah, I mean, there's a certain amount of subjectivity, but like, I mean, you guys have done a really great job of like building that framework for creating an ideal class experience. Where like we've even made presence and attitude and things that would appear subjective objective, where it's like yes or no, where it's like you either said everybody's name during the general warm up or you didn't, and it's like even though that's like a subjective feeling, like either you did or you didn't, and taking it into the specific warm up, we coach cross circle cueing, and we talk about like the 2-1-2 method. I think we mentioned that last week, and it's like if you're following that and you have a systematic approach for your teaching and correcting, um, you're going to end up hitting everybody basically the same anyway. But
Yeah.
it's like if you don't have a framework, now you are going to be like, well, I'm going to cue Jay more because he moves like garbage and he's brand new. But Fern's been doing CrossFit for 10 years. So like I'm going to leave him alone. Opposed to if I have everybody in this circle and I've got this progression and I'm teaching like, and I'm moving around the circle, theoretically, everybody's going to get hit pretty much the same amount as we go around.
Absolutely. I mean, yes, we're talking about, systematizing coaching now, but that's also part of it, right? What are you giving your coaches to help them improve, right? Like if you're just the evaluator and owner that's like, get better, how?
Yeah, well, and I use that as like an analogy, but like systematizing all of our things is like sets them up for success. And like even going back to the member, it's like making sure we start and end on time systematically set your member up for success.
Well, and Fern and I are working through it within best hours. So I'll give you an example. Recently, we had a lot of people sign up for year 3. And I realized a lot of the people that signed up for year 3 were like, yeah, no brainer, sign me up. And I'm like, oh, I don't realize for the last 4 years, I've been creating people that will easily sign up because of my interactions with them. Right?
Mm.
Who's on this call? Nikki Sharp, Dr. Fuller. Like Dr. Fuller, I don't know if he's still there, verify this. He said, I signed up for year 3 because of the texts you send me. Now, granted, they're nudies.
I was going to go there. I was going to go there.
They're nudies, same ones I sent to Nikki Sharp. She knows it. But
is that like a premium affiliate? It's an add-on to affiliate university.
It's a downgrade.
No, it's you got to pay more not to receive Ackerman nudies.
But anyway, so I'm like, oh,
reverse OnlyFans. You got to pay me to stop getting pictures.
RX Plus, that's right. It's important for us to replicate that, right? Because no different than an affiliate, we're growing, and our biz dev team are sledgehammers: Allison, Steve, Joel, Max. But Boucher just texted me. I expect nudes. Boucher does the opposite. Boucher sends me the nudes, for the record. I tried to block him, it won't work. But anyway, point is, like, it's important as affiliate owners. We're like, how do you systematize that? Like, it's just in my head. I think of people, I text them. Right? They're like, for lack of better terms, these are all my friends. Like, I'm like, hey, what's up? Right? So it's important that anything you're doing, especially well, that it's not unconscious competence, right? It's not like, and that's what this is. You have to make it conscious competence so it can be replicated.
Yeah.
Anyway. Cool.
No, but that's where like most affiliates fail. Is like isn't because most affiliates like have the passion, they have the coaching, but they're like, why is this not working? It's because you don't have a system. You don't have a system for what a good class looks like. You don't have a system for what somebody joining your affiliate looks like. Like you don't have an onboarding process. You don't have a system for your calendar, and you're always surprised that the open shows up at the end of February, like you didn't know it was going to happen.
Yeah, no, and I'll give you a great example, and I don't want to throw anyone under the bus because they're doing a great job. But Joel in Austin joined CrossFit Central.
Yeah.
Right? Jeremy's the man. We interviewed him. He's like an amazing human being. But Joel was like, I gave him feedback. He's like, I didn't even know how to buy a Fit Aid.
Right?
Like, it's like little things. Like he's like, I didn't know what app to use. Like I didn't know how to log into class. Right? So it's what's your system for that? And you're talking about Joel, who's ran affiliates.
Who's coaching affiliates?
Right. So imagine what that's like for someone that has never joined a gym before.
Yeah.
Right. So just think about that. Every step. What are you doing to set? I would look at it like, what are you doing to set your members and your coaches up for success? Because it's easy to complain, my coaches aren't doing X. Well, what are you doing? Did they know that was the expectation? One.
Yeah.
Right. Like, did they know that? And then what are you doing to continue to make sure they grow?
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Dr. Fuller, do we have a yes affirmative for next week? You coming on? 10:30 Mountain. James, looking forward to seeing you in a month here, helping you get that L4. Brittany, if you're still on, my friend, hit me up. Saw your husband. I saw Jonathan, Signs RX, this past weekend. He's doing something cool with us. And yeah, great. I love these. It's one of my favorite things. Go hit a workout, come home, make a coffee, chat with you. Please, again, as always, I didn't see any of Trish's people on here, by the way.
Of who?
Trish.
Oh.
She was on last week.
She was on last week. Yeah, she was.
Yeah, but, I told her I'd send her a copy of the new book. Never heard from her. She ghosted me.
Man. Maybe she bought somebody else's book. Best time of the day. Amazon.com.
Really excited to launch the new book. I'm pumped. New chapters. Yeah, you're gonna love it.
Are you gonna do the? Are you gonna have the audiobook done too?
No.
Okay.
No.
Who did the audiobook? You didn't actually do it, did you?
Yeah. First of all, James on here.
You guys did bonus chapters for the audiobook.
Yeah, James interviewed me for every chapter. So that told you the story? I had a woman reach out to me who bought the book, never doing CrossFit, and she messaged me. I forget, she emailed me, I think. And she said, hey, I bought your book because I buy the longest books on Audible because, I travel a lot or whatever it was. And because the book's like 70 hours.
Oh my gosh.
It's like War and Peace. It's like a long book. But anyway.
Like War and Peace.
I'll find it. I can find it next time. She's since then joined a CrossFit and got her level 1.
No way.
Yeah, it's really cool. Really cool. No, for the record, there is an audiobook. It's on Audible. I'm not redoing the audiobook.
Yeah, you're not gonna do the audiobook for the new chapters?
I'll tell James. Okay, you want? All right. Before we wrap up, James is asking, and since James was a big help, also James was the co-author of "Own Your Eating: The Definitive Guide to Flexible Eating" with me. He's on the cover there. 5 new chapters, plus the cover, plus a few other little things. But I've got a chapter. James, James will remember this. I didn't include this in the first book. James, remember when I launched Varsity at Albany CrossFit? Tell me if you remember that. Anyway, it backfired. Spoiler alert. And I'll talk about
this.
I'll talk about that in the book. I got a chapter on rekindling my relationship with Caleb, who was my former, good buddy. Yep, the noon class. You nailed it. Yeah, it's what's the term when you take like classy nudes? Not risque, but
boudoir.
Boudoir. It's boudoir.
Boudoir. Yeah, it's boudoir. They're not quite nudes. They're very risque. It's like a
boudoir. Nate took those with me. And so we got a chapter on rekindling with Caleb. I got a chapter about me and Fern, how we started the podcast. A chapter about the team bringing on sledgehammers. And I got one bonus last chapter just about being successful in life with consistency. So 5 new chapters, some new pictures, some other new stuff. Those of you that will be at the Orlando Mastermind, you're going to be the first to see it. So looking forward to that. In the meantime,
news. You're going to sign every copy?
I'll sign every copy, yeah.
All 200 of them?
Whatever it takes, 210. Sold out. Anyway, Christian, let's wrap it up. Great seeing you, my friend.
Yeah, thank you.
Everyone for watching. Tell your friend to tell a friend that we got a live show Tuesdays, Thursdays, Cabo and Todd, 9 a.m.
Bring us your questions. Don't just listen to us talk the whole time. We want to know your questions.
You don't want to listen to us, yeah. No, I was saying, James, we're not. Maybe we'll do interviews. We'll see, James. Maybe. Hey, maybe a little bonus. Maybe we'll put it on the pod. What do you think about bringing James on live to talk about him?
I'm down.
All right, James. We'll chat about it when you're in town. Cool. All right, everybody. Great seeing you all.
Thanks, Jay.
Have a great rest of your day. Talk to you all
Bye.
later.